In a quiet corner of South America, the winds of change are stirring. Guyana, a nation once overshadowed by its larger neighbours, is rapidly becoming one of the world's most closely watched economies, not because of its size, but because of what lies beneath its soil: oil, a lot of it. And now, in 2025, with a second term secured by the electorate, President Irfaan Ali takes centre stage once again, not just as the leader of a small nation, but as the steward of newfound national wealth. On September 7th, in the heart of Georgetown, amid tradition and ceremony, Irfaan Ali reaffirmed his oath to lead. This wasn't just another political milestone, it was a declaration of intent for transformation, for growth, for legacy. As oil production accelerates and new discoveries emerge offshore, the expectations on this administration are colossal, but so are the risks. President Ali stands before a crowd of citizens, officials, and international observers, raising his right hand to repeat the presidential oath. Cameras flash. The national anthem echoes through the capital. This moment marks continuity, but also confrontation. Guyana is now at the crossroads of prosperity and pressure. This presidency will not be judged solely by promises, but by execution. How will oil revenues be used? Who will benefit? And how will Guyana defend what is now undeniably a strategic national interest? In the early minutes of his address, Ali speaks directly to this vision. He assures the public that economic growth will not come at the cost of neglecting the country's roots. He pledges to strengthen traditional sectors, mining, agriculture, fisheries, forestry, ensuring jobs and stability beyond the oil fields. And yet the headline remains the same: oil. More than 11 billion barrels in proven reserves. That's more oil per capita than Saudi Arabia. And the world has noticed. Ali's promise is clear. Oil revenues will be managed transparently, production will expand, and the benefits will reach every Guyanese citizen. But this narrative isn't just economic, it's also geopolitical. Guyana's most aggressive oil blocks sit near the disputed Essequibo region, claimed by neighbouring Venezuela. Caracas insists the land and the oil is theirs. Guyana insists otherwise. The International Court of Justice is reviewing the matter. But on the ground, the tension is very real. Ali speaks in Spanish when addressing regional security, signalling to Latin America and perhaps directly to Venezuela that Guyana is watching and ready. He promises to build the most advanced defence ecosystem in the country's history, not to provoke, but to protect. Sovereignty, he insists, is not negotiable. From the stage, Ali pledges something deeper: that the rule of law will prevail, that corruption will be punished, that every public official will be held accountable for their assets. It is an ambitious stance in a region often criticised for opacity, and yet, beyond the fanfare of oil and defence strategies, lies a more urgent human question: will this transformation actually lift people out of poverty? Guyana remains a nation of stark contrasts. Despite its vast resources, many communities lack access to quality healthcare, education, or infrastructure. In rural villages, roads are unpaved. In coastal areas, floodwaters are rising. In cities, inequality is growing. Ali's government says the oil money will change all of that. Roads will be built, hospitals modernised, schools connected to the internet. A sovereign wealth fund, modelled after Norway's, will protect against overspending and corruption. But experts warn oil has toppled many governments before. Sudden wealth can be a blessing or a curse. To mitigate that risk, the administration is pushing forward with what it calls economic diversification. That includes investing in renewable energy, smart agriculture, and digital infrastructure. The goal: to ensure Guyana doesn't become a petro-state, but a modern economy, resilient and adaptable. The challenge? Time. The window to build lasting institutions is narrow. Oil revenue is peaking quickly, but global energy transitions are already underway. If Guyana doesn't invest wisely now, the opportunity may pass. Ali's leadership, then, is a race against the clock. Internationally, the stakes are equally high. The US is invested, China is interested, multinationals like ExxonMobil are drilling, and regional partners in CARICOM are watching. Guyana must play the diplomatic game carefully, welcoming investment while preserving sovereignty, forming alliances without creating dependencies. In this environment, President Ali is positioning himself as both a pragmatist and a reformer. He speaks the language of engineers and economists, but governs with the instincts of a political survivor. His popularity is tied to tangible progress, paved roads, functioning ports, job creation, clean government, but it's also tied to something intangible, hope. Across Guyana, young people are dreaming bigger than ever before. A new middle class is emerging. Guyanese professionals who left for Canada or the US are now returning. In villages once forgotten, electricity is flowing, schools are opening, and yet in the same neighbourhoods, prices are rising, rents are unaffordable, land is being bought up. The oil boom is lifting boats, but not all boats rise equally. At the heart of it all is the question, who gets the wealth? Ali's administration says the people, but making that true will take more than slogans. It will take oversight, courage, and the political will to say no to corruption, to greed, to short-term gain. Back in Georgetown, the ceremony continues. The president walks with his wife through the ceremonial parade. Military honours are performed. Foreign diplomats shake hands. But behind every image, there is a silent promise to do better, to build better. Guyana doesn't want to be the next Venezuela or Nigeria, countries blessed with oil, cursed with mismanagement. It wants to be something new, a nation that found oil and used it wisely. It's a rare story in modern history, but it's one Guyana still has a chance to write. President Ali's second term may define whether this becomes a story of shared success or squandered potential. But in his words, there is ambition. In his policies, there is planning. And in the faces of everyday Guyanese, there is expectation. As the sun sets over Georgetown, the oil rigs in the distance continue to hum. In the markets, the chatter of daily life resumes. In the capital, decisions are being made that will shape generations.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, President Irfaan Ali.
I, President Irfaan Ali.
Do solemnly declare.
Do solemnly declare.
That I will bear true faith, allegiance to the people of Guyana.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the people of Guyana.
Without fear or favor.
Without fear or favor.
Affection or ill will.
Affection or ill will.
And that in the execution of the functions of that office.
And in the execution of the function of that office.
I will honor, uphold, and preserve the Constitution of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana.
I will honor, uphold, and preserve the Constitution of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
The President will now be presented with a traditional indigenous address.
Of ordinary citizens who have come out to witness his inauguration, the inauguration.
As we excitingly get ready to welcome President President Irfaan Ali.
Guyana is real. Shock for
by their sons Zaid and heads of the joint services and designated aide-de-camp.
Prosperity. As part of our commitment to economic diversification, we'll strengthen the traditional pillars of our economy: mining, agriculture, fisheries, and forestry, ensuring that these sectors continue to provide jobs, wealth, and stability for our people. But we will not stop there. Yes, our oil and gas sector will continue to grow, expanding production and revenue for our people. But why stop there? We'll press forward with new exploration under a stronger production sharing agreement, ensuring that the benefits are greater, the gains are wider, and the wealth is truly for the people. We'll keep our country safe. That means building the strongest and most modern defense ecosystem in our history, one that shields us from every threat to our sovereignty and territorial integrity. Importantly, we will align ourselves with our allies and international partners to cripple transnational crime, drug trafficking, human trafficking, and every act of criminality that threatens or undermines peace, freedom, and democracy. Every official will be required to account for their personal assets, and any who cannot do so will face the full force of the law. We'll pursue both the corrupted and the corruptors, leaving no room for impunity. On this note,